Collective, you know what's funny? You are your own team cheerleader, coach, and fans. Okay, this is why you're so unstoppable, and this is why people do not understand you, right? Like, how do you just keep going? How do you keep so motivated, right? They don't realize that you are your own support system, right? And it's not like you had this by design. You were forced into being your own support system, right? Collective, you're not somebody who had a lot of people behind you. You didn't have a lot of people pushing to see you do your best, right? If anything, you've had a bunch of people going against that. You were met with a lot of resistance and adversity in your life, right? And a lot of pushback, people going against you, right? That's because you're somebody who stands for truth. You're not somebody who just be out here, just playing around with people. You're somebody who's serious about life, and you take yourself serious, right? And you stand on things that a lot of other people don't. You don't like to see people manipulating people and circumstances. It just grinds your gears. And so because you're always someone who speaks up and speaks out, and you're never afraid to sugarcoat things that are happening behind the scenes or things that should not be done, you automatically become a target and a problem to people who want to keep suppressing truth, who want to keep operating out of darkness and evil. So you get shunned away. You get ridiculed. People drop off out of your life, out of support for you, because you get looked at as bad, right? So you've been dealing with this for most of your life, Collective. So you're not new to this. You're true to this. And this is why you've had to develop your own ways to become your own support system, right? Because you didn't have people telling you that you can do this. You didn't have people in your corner pushing you to see you do your best, holding yourself accountable, cheering you on, celebrating and sharing your little wins and big wins, right? You didn't have people in your corner when you were silently struggling and facing things, right? You've had to learn over time how to be this for yourself, because no one else was there for you. And if you didn't, then what were you going to do? You had no other choice. It was either you were going to support yourself, or you were just going to fall by the wayside and fail and just lay there for dead. And maybe some of you have laid there for dead for a while, for quite a few years. Maybe you felt lost in your life. You know what I'm saying? And life has made you so unkind, and you discouraged. It discouraged you from wanting to carry on in life. So you sat for a while. But somewhere along the line, something clicked. Somewhere along the lines, you got remotivated, right? You're somebody who is a self-starter, and you just motivate yourself. Inspiration just comes out of thin air, and then boom, you're ready and you're moving, right? There were many times that you failed. There were many times that you struggled and you cried and you gave up, right? But you didn't allow that to stop you completely and permanently. It's funny, Collective, because you watched other people have support systems like no other. They had both parents in their lives cheering them on, a host of healthy friends and family members, and a community of people who lifted these people up and pushed them on to the next level. You've watched so many people pass you up and pass you by, almost seamlessly, effortlessly. And, this hurt you a lot, because knowing that how genuine and kind you are, and all you've ever wanted was to just fit in. All you've ever wanted was to feel appreciated and to feel supported and valued and like you mattered in society, right? That's all you ever wanted to feel. So it just hurts you to see that other people are out here, and some of them don't even deserve the support that they do get. But I mean, the ones that do deserve it, I mean, it still slights you because you feel like you deserve it and you know you deserve it, right? and you don't get that help and the support. So a lot of the times in your life when you were venturing off and trying new things and exploring new opportunities, you didn't have that same support, so you didn't have that same motivation. So there were many times that you probably even sabotaged your own opportunities, sabotaged your own ways, because you didn't feel like you had this support, so you doubted yourself. You didn't feel like you could trust anyone, so you second guessed yourself, and you just screwed things up for you, in the past a lot, collective. But you've grown and you've learned from those mistakes, and you realize that, listen, at the end of the day, whether I have the support or not, I have to keep going, because you were in survival mode for so long that you were doing things just to survive. You had no other choice. It was that or you were going to be dead out in the street. You know what I'm saying? Like strung out, really out here, crashed out, lost your mind, lost your sanity. And it wasn't going to be that. So it forced you to grow. It forced you to support your own self. It forced you to show up for yourself even when you knew you didn't feel like it, when you didn't have an ounce of energy to give, but you still had to somehow show up. Because if you didn't, who else would? No one. And I swear, collective, this built up a new type of confidence within you. And this built up this new type of fire and hunger within you, because you forged this through your own path and through your own experience and through your own pain and struggle. So because you forged this yourself, this is wisdom and knowledge and experience that no one else can take from you. No one taught you it, so no one can take it from you. Do you know how powerful that is, collective, to be your own team, your own cheerleader? You don't need no support outside of you to be your own support system. That is very, very powerful, especially in this world that we live in today. There's an attack on your mind, body, and spirit. They colonized all of the earth. Now their last frontier is to colonize the mind. It is sick and it is sad, but you are someone who refuses to be colonized, right? You fought many battles and you forged many things about yourself in silence and in the private and in the darkness of your own soul and your spirit that can't nobody else take from you, collective. And this is why you're unstoppable. This is why people are perplexed. People don't understand, how do you keep going? So many people have fell off. So many people have stopped and given up, because guess what? They've had that strong support system for so long and people putting them on pedestals, that people change. People's mindsets change, their energy, their emotions. People are fickle. So that support system only stays up for so long before people start fizzling out, And because there are so many people who rely on certain support, and they lived off of people's support for so long and pedestals, that they don't know how to handle it. They can't survive. They can't move on. They can't be motivated without the support of other people. They've become codependent on the support of other people. So now they collapse under their own pressure and weight of being their own support. They can't handle it. It's too much, collective, right? All of that backlash, all of the rejection, all of those resistance that you've dealt with your whole life has built you up to this unstoppable monster, because you built up the spiritual muscles to endure all of that, while they were lifted off of on this fake and false support. Now that support's gone, poosh, collapse. But here you are, strong, and you rise to the occasion. Collective, I know you're so glad now that you did not have the support that you wish you had, because what you wanted so badly and what you thought you needed, it showed you that you don't need it. And now that you don't need it, and you don't, and it's crazy, because when you didn't have it and you needed it, nobody was there. But now it's like you are starting to attract support from everywhere, but you don't need it. You don't need that support. It's extra now. So now nobody can take that power away from you, collective, because you've built that support system on your own. So now anything that comes after is extra. So whether people support you or whether they downplay you, listen, you've already been there and done that. So guess what? You are going to stay afloat because you've cultivated your own support system. So now in this type of environment, you will survive. Oh my gosh, collective. This is so powerful. Like, I don't know who I'm talking to, but somebody out there needs to hear this. Somebody out there knows everything you went through was not in vain. All of that rejection was not in vain, okay? Because now look at the times we're in, where everybody is relying on support and thirsty for it. Look at you shining and glowing, and you don't even need that support. You don't want it, okay? But it's going to come to you and it's going to flock to you with effortless and ease because of what you now embody, collective. So powerful. It's like a full circle moment. If this is you having a full circle moment, let me know in the comments below because I want to hear your story, okay? And if this is your first time here on my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you a part of our tribe. Just ask our tribe, okay? It's always a vibe over here. We're always glowing and growing, all right? Listen, it's Karkar. I'm signing out. I'll talk to you guys later. Love y'all. Bye.